Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Conor, the obvious question, you're over in Europe, Sweden and Denmark World Championships. What's the experience been like so far?
Oh, we've had a good time so far as a group. Coming together as a team. We spent about a half a week in Germany, played a game there, and then came over here. But obviously, a talented group, a lot of young players. So as I get older, it's a lot more fun playing with younger guys from my area, and helping them kind of grow as professionals. And obviously, as the tournament goes on, we'll be trying to win it, this year for the first time in a long time. So it's exciting.
Hey, you touched on this there, but such a long, grueling NHL season. What made you decide to take part in this tournament?
Oh, I mean, I love being an American. I'm really proud, American boy. And I wasn't somewhat fortunate enough to play in World Juniors. So the first time I ever got to represent my country was World Championships, and I was, forever grateful for that. And the last time, same thing. I've loved it every time I've come. Obviously, you want to be playing a lot longer, especially, coming off the season we just had. It was a lot more fun being in the second round than being here. But, I think it's a great learning experience for players to figure out how to play deep into May, in early June. It's a taxing schedule when you play deep in the playoffs, and it's a great place to learn how to do it.
Yeah, you touched on this there as well, but can you put into words just how tough this season was for you and your Vancouver teammates, Conor?
No, I probably can't put it into words. It really was. It was a trying experience for us, and it felt like we could never really, get on a roll or get off to the right start. We fumbled 2 games early in season. Played good hockey for about 10 games there, and then really never, found a way to put it together. So yeah, it was obviously, a lot of stuff went on. Everybody knows about that, but when it comes down to it, we just didn't perform well enough to get, the amount of points we needed to get in the playoffs, and that's why we're out after 82 games.
Conor, how surprised Rick Tocchet decided not to come back? Boy, he played you a ton down the stretch all season long. There were nights when you had more minutes than any other forward. Were you surprised that Rick Tocchet did not return?
Well, that's, I don't know. I think, I think Tocchet's a guy that you have to earn your minutes for. So to speak on that, I just think, if a coach like that's behind the bench, he's going to play guys who are going, and I try to be going each and every night. But, obviously I was disappointed when I found out Rick's someone who helped me when I came into league as a young kid, helped form my game. I was a big point producer in junior, but I didn't really understand the other side of the game. And to have him was so big for me at a young age. And, having him later on was, awesome, a great experience. And, any team that gets him is going to be a very lucky club.
Hey, Conor, another guy that could leave is Brock Boeser, a fellow American. What would it mean for you? What would it mean to you if Brock re-signed in Vancouver? I presume you don't want to see that guy go.
Well, I look at it 2 ways. He's a very close friend of mine. I've been with him for 4 years. We're kind of in touch, it seems like every other day in the summer. And, our relationship really grew a lot this year, as we got older. So I'd be very disappointed if he leaves in that aspect. And then as a hockey player, he's a tremendous player. It's hard to score goals in this league. He's someone who does it each and every year on a consistent basis. I think he's a very underrated, playmaker, and he has a lot of poise, through the neutral zone, someone who helped our team a lot, break pucks out and get into the other team's zone. I think he's very underrated around the league, and, I'd love to have him back.
Hey, Conor, speaking of contracts, I think you got 1 year left. Would you have you liked Vancouver, first of all, so much since you played here? Canadian market, first time, Canadian market for you. And second, would you like to sign long-term after your deal's up in Vancouver?
Well, I mean, I love Vancouver. I think it's a great city. I really, warmed up to it last year. Obviously, winning helps, but this year, I just really enjoy the city. I love living in it. Having a son this year and having a place where I can take him and walk, and it's just, I find it a lot, like Boston, just on the very, opposite side of the continent. But I got a great agent. He handles that stuff. I just play hockey, and that's what I love doing, and I enjoy doing it. And that's how I look at it. That's up to him.
Hey, what's your message to the Vancouver fans, Conor? Tough season for you. We talked about it earlier. What's your message to the fans going into next season?
It's a great question. I've been a fan of teams. I'm still a fan of the Patriots. I watch every Sunday, and they had a disappointing season as well, and I understand what that's like. On the fan side of it. So, it's just you just want to let them know, hey, like we're coming back, and we're trying to get right back to where we were. We have a lot of good pieces. I've talked to guys over here. They ask me what's going on, and I look at our decor and. I think we got one of the best decor in the league. We for sure have the best goalie tandem in the league. And, I'm a forward, too, who needs to produce a lot more and play a lot better. And we got some guys up front that want to come back and have great years and be hungry. And hopefully we can make a few additions. And I think we got a really good hockey club.
Well, you're a fan of the Patriots. I've seen Brady trying to skate. Maybe the Canucks should sign him, Connor. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I just actually listened to a podcast the other day. He said he was 49 years old. That makes me feel old. So, no, I think he could. I think he could maybe jump back in the NFL. But no, he can stay off the ice.
Okay, and the other thing, Connor, you talked about being a proud American. How much has American hockey, politics aside, how much has American hockey grown since you started playing?
I was like, what? We already got into contracts. Might as well just get into politics too. We'll ask it all the tough questions today. But it really has grown. It's, I look at the talent on the Four Nations team. It's such a deep roster. The talent we have here. There's a lot of young guys I don't think people even know about. Conor Garland is going to be a phenomenal player. Will Smith. We have the Hobie Baker winner on our team, Isaac Howard. I got to play a few shifts with him today. I was really wowed at his talent. So. On the back end, Jackson Lacombe is a fantastic player. Alex Vlasic, we just have a lot of really good prospects in USA hockey, and it'll be fun. A lot of these tournaments coming up are best on best, and I'll enjoy watching because there are going to be a lot of good hockey players on the ice, and hockey's in a better place for it.
This has been great. Well, you look and sound like you're having a great time over there, Connor. All the best, and thanks so much for doing this.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you.